Do you understand the 5 stages of inflammation and what that means towards your health? Hey, Jason here. And if you've been following the channel, you've been seeing me going around Joburg, showing you different areas, showing you how beautiful and safe this place is. And you probably have saw me at the concert this last weekend where Toby was performing, and it was freaking amazing, like I gotta tell you. And most importantly, you have been watching me talk about success when it comes to happiness, health, and wealth. And so today we're going to talk about health. We're going to focus on it, and we're going to focus on the 5 stages of inflammation, what that means, why it's very important you should start taking notice of this, and 3 things that you can actually do to start helping reduce your inflammation today. So let's go ahead and dig into it. So most people may not be aware of this, that there's actually 5 stages of inflammation, and this is something that has been along since the ancient Greek times. They knew about this, and when they started doing, Hippocrates started talking about medicine and things like this, his biggest focus was actually on reducing inflammation in the body, because inflammation causes dis-ease or diseases, what we naturally live in this modern world. Now, if you are someone who's alkaline, or if you heard of Dr. Sebi, he talked about this very briefly, but his main focus was on mucus. And I'm going to tie the 2 together for you and give you a personal example that literally just happened to me last week and show you why this is something you want to start taking care of today. So what are the 5 stages of inflammation? The first one is redness, and that's just simple. Like if you're having blisters or something like that, you see your skin get all red. And then what's following afterward is swelling. So you start getting the swelling in your skin or wherever it is on your body, and we used to call that inflammation. And it doesn't just mean swelling's inflammation, because there's 5 stages of it. After that, we have heat, and that's when you may start running a fever or a temperature, or the area where you're having an issue is getting hot. Now, I went through. Don't think I did a video about it. But when I was in Vegas for the investors conference, I got bit by a spider. So I don't know if it was poisonous or not, but I started seeing redness, then I saw the swelling, and then it started getting hot, the area. So then from there, I started doing preventive care that I do, part of my self-maintenance routine, and it helped get it and bring everything down. Now, after the heat comes pain. So when your body is in pain, it's a sign of inflammation that's built up in a certain area. And after pain, you have loss of limb. Now, loss of limb, this one, when you hear it, everybody be like, oh, well, I don't have to worry about that. Most people are thinking literally hacking off a limb, or someone who has to get their foot or a leg cut off because of diabetic nerve pain issues, or someone losing an arm or something like that. That is not what loss of limb means in this day and age. And one of the things that I've noticed as I've been studying through health these past years is the English language does not explain things correctly. English is not a mother language. It's not a mother tongue at all. And it's not a language that is in resonance with health and things like this. Like I met a guy yesterday when I was at the Fussy Vegan. He was telling me how in his native tongue, I can't remember which dialect he speaks here, the word for medicine means trees. It means plants. And that's really different than us using medicine in the English word, and we're thinking of having to go to a prescription and go get an actual legal drug that we go take and is going to poison our body. 2 totally different concepts. So this is why I want to break down loss of limb. Loss of limb in this modern day and age means your body is not performing its normal function, meaning you have to substitute or take a pill or something else to do it. This could be something as simple as if you need a pacemaker for your heart, if you're taking blood pressure pills, if you're taking stuff for your thyroid, you're having to take insulin for diabetes. Like all of these are just some of the examples of what your body is, when your body's at loss of limb. For me, when I was needing a CPAP machine to breathe at night, I was at a place of loss of limb. My body was not able to regulate or create oxygen at the levels that a normal body can. So once I started discovering this, and I started correlating inflammation, and along with some of Dr. Sebi's teachings, I started realizing, whoa, there's a lot of things that we're not taking into consideration, and that's the inflammation, and with Dr. Sebi's teaching, mucus. And so just to give you an example, I've been doing a lot of working out lately. As you see, I'm growing the beard back because when I like to go into beast mode working out, I like having a beard. It changes my self-identity. When I'm having the beard, I notice that I can hit the gym hard, I can do a lot of more exercise, and I'm not having a lot of negative self-talk. So with increasing my exercise these past couple of weeks, I had a crucial pain in my shoulder. In my right shoulder, it was hurting. I couldn't sleep well on it. I couldn't stretch it out. Nothing was happening. And so one of the things that I do for self-care and self-maintenance is I have a personal masseuse that I go to the massage place every week, and I go clockwork. So as she was doing the massage and getting the knots out of my body, she hit my shoulder, and she was like, yo, what did you do here? And I told her, like, I'm not really sure. I'm thinking it's from the workout. So she really put a lot of time and attention into it. And it was funny what happened. When she got the knot out of my body, the pain went away. The swelling, because it was a little swollen, all of that went away. But what came afterwards was what shocked me. It was full of mucus, meaning I just started having a whole drainage of mucus. And literally today is the first day that I haven't been just congested with mucus. And I started remembering, I was like, this makes sense. I went up to the scale of inflammation to pain. That means there's mucus somewhere in that area that's building up. And the thing about mucus is, if you haven't studied it or studied Dr. Sebi, is your body doesn't just pass it through. Mucus can be runny, it can be sticky, it can also be solid. There's solid pieces of mucus that sits inside our body. We're just not aware of it because we never do preventive maintenance. And so as I was draining all of this mucus out and everything, I would see different parts come out. I would spit it out, blow it out, and then I saw chunks coming out too. But as more and more was coming out, my body was getting better. It was feeling more relaxed. And then I was seeing my range of motion was getting better with my shoulders. My exercise was getting a lot easier. And it dawned on me, it was like, whoa, I forgot about the 5 stages of inflammation plus the studying of Dr. Sebi's understanding mucus. Now, I will say this, I don't agree with everything that Dr. Sebi talked about or teached about. And you shouldn't believe everything that I'm teaching about. Like, you have to start doing these things for your body. Start seeing what are the things that react to your body. Because one of the ways that we get mucus into our body is from our diet. Most of us have a very high inflammatory diet. And so you may be like, well, what's a high inflammatory diet? If you're using a lot of omega-6 oils, which the entire world does now, these are oils such as your generic vegetable oil, your fat shortenings, beef shortenings, all of that. And this includes canola oil also. I'm not gonna go into every bit of oil in here because I don't want to make a very long video, but I want to just go ahead and jump into what are 3 ways you can just start reducing your inflammation right now. First way is start eating an anti-inflammatory diet. Now, the only anti-inflammatory diet that exists in this world is scientifically proven. You can go look up Dr. Neil Bernard. He talks about it all the time, is a plant-based diet. And so this is why, like, when people be like, oh, will you ever eat meat again or eat this again? No, I don't. I never want to eat that again because I don't want to ever feel like you. I remember what it felt like being inflamed all the time. I remember what it felt like having to take blood pressure pills because my blood pressure wouldn't regulate itself. I remember what it felt like living with a CPAP machine. It was uncomfortable. So you want to switch to an anti-inflammatory diet. And the best diet is a plant-based diet. Now, you don't have to go plant-based. Remember, you don't have to do everything that I do. So one of the things that you may want to do is start incorporating just a side salad with every meal that you eat. So this right here alone is going to give you dark leafy greens. You're going to start eating a little bit of the rainbow. Throw in some some green peppers, yellow peppers, red peppers, some different onions, and just put a light. Don't do salad dressing because salad dressing is inflammatory. But do just like a light lemon juice or something like that. Or what I like to do, I use salsa in it. So that's a great way to do it. And that's a very simple way. Eating a small side salad about the size of the palm of your hand. Like, every last one of us could do that with every meal. There's nothing wrong with that. Next thing you want to do is stop using a lot of omega-6 oils. This is where we're talking about your canola oils, your vegetable oils, your shortenings, butter, margarine. All of those things are high in omega-6. Omega-6 oils are inflammatory at a cellular level. All the science talks about it, whether you look at any scientific study, it tells you omega-6 oils are inflammatory. You want to switch to a high omega-3 oil diet. Where do you get your omega-3 oils? You may be saying fish oil. No, that's not true. Fish do not make omega-3 oils. They get it from eating sea algae or seaweed. So get it from the original sources. If you don't like seaweed, use chia seeds or flax seeds. Those are two easy ways to get omega-3s in, and they're just easy. Like if you've been watching my shorts, you'll see like I just been mixing chia seeds with water and I drink it all day. So I do about a cup a day of chia seeds. Now I don't do it all at one time. I do a quarter cup at a time. I start my morning off with it, drink it, then I do it for lunch, then maybe around 4 o'clock in the evening. Then I do it before bed also. So I have a full cupping. And the beautiful thing about doing with chia seeds and flax seeds, you're getting a lot of dietary fiber that's helping with your gut health. Your gut health is very important, and I'll do a video about that on a later date. And then the last thing you want to do, and this is what I do to help reduce my inflammation in my body, is I do self-care by doing massages. I go get a massage each and every week. Now, if you can't do it every week, maybe you want to do it every 2 weeks or once a month. But just do this to do self-care for your body. Because one, hitting those pressure points is going to release built up inflammation that's just been sitting there. Because most of us work a cubicle type job, meaning we're sitting down in front of a computer all day. And if you talk to any chiropractor, they're going to tell you that is one of the worst things for your posture and for the alignment of your skeletal structure. I remember when we were still living in DeSoto, Cece and I, we started going to see a chiropractor, and he did the alignment test, looking at our spine and everything, and he was like, yo, her spine is way worse than yours, and you went to war. And he's like, she's a social worker working at a desk all day. And then he explained to us why that was the case. He was saying how like we're hunched over. Most desks are not postured correct. Most chairs are not posture-peded. Most of the things that are designed for the workplace are cheap. That's it. They're just designed to be cheap. So they're not giving you the things that actually give you the proper lumbar support and help keep your spine erect. Like if you see this chair back here behind me, that's not a lumbar erect chair. So that's why I have the little throw pillow on there, and I put it at a very specific place when I'm sitting on it and working, because it keeps me erect, to keep my spine in alignment. And so you want to do that. And the other thing is, you can do self-care through chiropractic care, which I highly recommend, or you can do self-care through massages. Each one has its own different price point. I believe in the US, it's cheaper to do chiropractic care because you have places like The Joint, Joint, which is really, really good and really effective chiropractic care. I believe it's like $20 to $30 a visit, which is very affordable. When I first started, I was paying a lot more than that to go get chiropractic care. Now, if you're here in South Africa, I definitely recommend Ancient Healthcare Therapy, AHC. They're a massage company. They're in, I use the one that's in Melville. And the massages, for an hour massage is, I believe, 300 Rand. And sometimes they have specials for 260 Rand. And I highly recommend it. It's a great massage, very professional people. They know what they're doing, and you don't even have to tell them all the time where you're paying it. Sometimes I just test her just to see if she's gonna find it, and then I tell you, like, once she goes over it one time, then she goes back to it, and she's like, "Oh, what happened here?" And they're really great people. And after you get the massage, you're just gonna be relaxed. Your body is gonna feel amazing. And once you start seeing how less and less inflammation built up in your body, how much more productive you can be, how clear you think, and just how much overall you feel better, you'll start making it a part of your self-care routine also. That's one of the reasons why I do it every week. It's not because just because it's so affordable here. It's because I feel so much better. It helps me become more productive in work, and I see the results every day, because as I'm slimming down, bulking up muscle mass, I'm not in pain on a daily basis. And so you don't have to be in pain on a daily basis also, but you should, however, you do want to start focusing on the 5 stages of inflammation and recognizing where you are. And so hope you got some value from this. I'll see you tomorrow, and have a great day.